Okay, I'll just explain it for her also.
Yeah,
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 one
yeah.
second. Yeah, so what we were talking about is, since the session is going to be about school, students, teachers, teaching, and college. So let's just start it by like walking down the memory lane. So let's just share about our one sweet memory and one bitter memory, what we have experienced in our school or college life. All right. So who wants to go first? Okay. Okay, I'll start first. Okay. So one of the sweet memory was okay. I could get lot of bitter memories. So okay, I'll just start with uh, yeah, one sweet memory. Okay, so I was a kid who gets zoned out all the time. Like I can't listen more than 10 minutes. I can't focus more than 10 minutes. I'll be in my own world of imagination. Just start thinking myself with my own cinematography, own favorite heroines in the dream, and be in separate dreamland in my classroom while they're teaching about some mitosis, meiosis. I had no clue what was that. Okay, so I had a habit of sketching all the ideas what I get in the like in the classroom while I'm daydreaming. Actually, I didn't know that it was daydreaming or overthinking or my wild imagination or am I being creative, but I used to get zoned out. Then I was sketching it. So I had one big book full of all my scribblings, and I used to even write poems in maybe in English or Tamil or whatever it is. So I just used to scribble it, and I just used to save it like a treasure from my fourth standard, I think. From fourth standard to all the way 10th standard, I had that big book full of poems, different sketches, different ideas, and whatever crazy stuffs I had. Even I had a idea of starting my own political party, and I even listed down what the symbol of the flag is also going to be. It was so crazy, but I had it with me. So one time I just thought of one drawing teacher who came into my life. So I was so inspired by him, so I wanted to thank him. So I wrote one big poem about it, and I just left it in the classroom that day. Like I forgot to take it home. The whole night I couldn't sleep because I was so scared that someone would do something to the notebook. But it has been my treasure for last 5 years. So the next day I came to the school. Coincidentally, it was a teacher's day. So what happened? One of the peon, he took the notebook, he placed it in principal's room, or I don't know how it went to principal's hand. Went through all the pages, and he found my poem about the teacher. He made a printout of it. He made it a big banner, not a big banner, maybe a poster of this size, and it was stuck in the entrance. And when I got down from my dad's vehicle, I could see that okay, this is what I have written, and I was so happy. I could show it to all of them, and that was one sweet memory of my school thing. And one bitter memory is uh, so basically in schools like we as kids wants to get appreciated all the time, though we don't experience it. We wanted to get appreciated all the time. So in until 8th standard it's safe play. Once you enter ninth and 10th, the pressure starts building up. So who is going to run first, who is going to get run second, what your neighbor is going to think, what your family friend is going to think. You get so much of tension. So what happened, even your best friend will turn out to be your enemy. You can't handle so much pressure in that age. So what our max teacher used to do is she will give a concept one day and she will conduct a test in the next day. Like initial 15 minutes of the session will be a class test. So I was so eager to get appreciation from her. So I worked very hard to understand the concept every day. I used to sleep at night 2 o'clock. I used to think all possible ways of solving that concept. And one day apparently I solved the question very fast. Like in 2-3 minutes I solved it, and I just ran to her for just an appreciation. So what she did, she just had a look and she looked at me and she was telling, okay, did you mug up all the questions and you wrote it all the way? That was a reaction. So all my small heart broke at the moment, and it took so much time to heal, and I started losing trust on the teachers. It affected me so much. So this is one bitter experience from my. I hope I didn't take so much time. Okay, somebody who wants to go next. Hello. Anybody who wants to share something? Can it needn't be both. Any one experience at least. We'll start it in 3 minutes. The session will
Okay.
start in 3 minutes. So, yeah. Yes,
I'll
Kavita.
say the experience.
Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very much. Yeah.
Hello. Yes,
Yes, Kavita.
actually, that I was studying till 10th standard. I was studying in St. Joseph School.
Okay.
From KG to 10th standard, it's very bitter experience in studying in that school. In that one, most experience when I was writing my physics practical 10th standard.
Okay.
What I done is, a teacher used to say, used to put that into my mind, not only my mind, all of my friends. What I done is, I have wrote all in, you know that palette, right? In all the sheets, you used to write your roll number. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Hello?
Hello. Yeah. Roll number.
Can
Then.
you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. I can hear you. It's a bit, but there's a bit break in the frequency, I think.
Uh, what I done is, I have written in all the sheets my register number correctly, but I didn't write in the first main sheet.
Oh.
I wrote my register number wrong in first main sheet. Then one of my teacher AHM,
Okay.
she took the paper. Where is this Kavita? Where is this Kavita? She was searching me. I told, "Wow, I don't know what I done. I wrote all my things, everything correctly." Then she called me that, uh, did you write your register number correctly? I thought, yes, miss, I wrote my register number correctly. She showed all the paper.
Okay.
I had to see all. I wrote all my register number correctly. Why you're asking me, miss? Now see the main sheet. I have done the main sheet. He shouted at me in front of the college. That
Okay.
was like a very bitter experience at the school. Sweet
Nice.
experiences. My 11th standard and 12th standard, I have joined a girls' school.
Okay.
We 90 students in one class.
Mhm.
That 2 years was my sweet experience.
Okay.
Then
Nice.
the college, then the working place with my kids. That was really a beautiful experience for me.
Okay. Nice.
That is
Nice.
a
Yeah, as Kavita was sharing her, that exam paper memory, I got one of my memories back now. So, similar to the situation, it was I think my 12th standard board exams. I wrote my, we had this OMR shading kind of thing, right, for register numbers.
Yes.
So it was physics exam, and physics paper was like one of the toughest, and I was kind of scared right from the start. I even wanted to change from CBSE to state board when I saw the physics books. I got scared and all. So it was that one exam where I had to, I was kind of late, I think, for the exam,
Mhm.
and rather than shading zero, I don't know what happened. I shaded the one there. So it
Okay.
was really like a terrible mistake, because the instructors used to say be careful with filling those sheets. You can't use whiteness and all. There won't be any other sheets
Mhm.
provided. So I got so nervous. I felt like I was forgetting everything. So I didn't know what to do, but one kind instructor came, and I know we shouldn't use whitener, but still he used it, and he tried rectifying it, and by God's grace nothing happened. I got my results well in time. So yeah,
Okay.
that was one crazy. I don't know, bitter. I don't think that was bitter, but
It was
uh,
memorable.
yeah, a memorable one.
All right. Okay. So there was a bit of walk down on the memory line. So let's just get started. Let's just come back to our present today. So yeah, what are we going to do today? That is a big question I think everybody is having on their mind. So what are we going to do today is nothing sort of like teaching you people. There is nothing going to be something instructive. We are all going to discuss today, and we are going to discuss about the problems, like what we have faced so far. As we see, when we spoke about the like memories, what we have experienced, those are itself like it's very different for each one of us. It's not same. So similarly, when we are addressing kids or any sort of student, the problem we are going to face as a teacher is going to be different in different set of ways. Okay, just wanted to confirm, are you guys able to see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay, so good to go then. Okay, so as an opening statement, I would start with like what, like whom do you define as a teacher? Do they need to have a B.Ed degree? Do they need to have do they need to be in working in any school or any college? It's not. We are, yeah, every one of us are being teachers every day. Like when we teach our siblings, when we teach our parents to use a mobile phone, or when we uh, teach someone who doesn't have any knowledge about something, but we have some knowledge about it. That's how it works. We have also been a student our entire life. When we started being a student, we also started being a teacher parallelly. That is how the universe works, but nobody agrees to that. I could hear a lot of people telling that they are not good at teaching. It's wrong. Maybe you are good at teaching with someone who's close with you. You are not good at teaching with someone who's strange to you. Okay, the audience might differ, but everybody is teaching someone at any point of time. So this is the opening statement. So why am I telling this is because most of us who are taking part today might not necessarily be a teacher. So they might think like, what do I do? What is the takeaway from this? The takeaway from this is, for example, as I said, in a room of 8 people, 3 people shared our experience about our school days, and every three experience was different, and every three experience was a problem which can be resolved. And millions of students out there are facing million different kinds of problem, because a classroom is a set of students which has different kind of like which have different kinds of mentality, which has different kinds of reception. So a teacher who is standing there is a sole purpose for that 45 or 1 hour, 45 minutes or 1 hour, and they have to devise a proper methodology to make their resources receptible for all the kids who are sitting at there at a single time, which is a big task actually, for which they don't get appreciated most of the times. I feel so sad about it. But teaching job is very challenging because it is not the same every day. You teach 8th standard this year, it is not going to be the same for the next year. It is going to be changed because of the students are changing, because the curriculum is getting moderated, and everything is getting moderated. So so that is why we have thought design thinking is important for the teachers, because it's basically not a big agenda or rocket science or nothing. It's just a tool which will help you to devise your content in such a way that it's more receptible for your kids, or more receptible for the students whom you are teaching, or more receptible for your siblings who are teaching. It can be anyone, needn't be your actual students who are sitting in the classroom. All right. So till day one and day two was detailed theory about each and every step of the design thinking process. So in day three, we are not getting into any of the theory. It is going to be a quick practical session, and we are going to give you a demo about how the design thinking tool is actually helping you people. We just want you people to just pour ideas. Okay, nobody is going to object any one of his voice. Everybody can feel free to put your own ideas. It can be crazy like anything. You can even tell that the teachers are like, students are not good, they are actually like this only, of this age are like monkeys, they are not you can tell that. It's okay, nobody is going to object you. Okay, here we are going to just discuss and come up with a possible solution for the particular theme what we have chosen. To make it interesting, we have just picked redesign your classroom as a theme for the for the day. Okay, so we are just going to follow the 5 steps what we have mentioned for the past 2 days, and like what Shruti said initially in the start of the call. And we are going to devise a practical solution at the end of 1 hour. Okay, let's get started quickly. Okay. Redesign. If you have doubts anywhere, because I might be using some kind of jargons or anything which you don't understand, it's not your mistake, it's my mistake. I should be responsible enough to tell you in a consumable way. Okay, So you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself, stop me right there, and you can question it. Okay, nobody is going to feel anything bad about it. All right. I hope that was a, detailed intro. Okay, one second. Okay, let's just get started. Okay, starting with discovery phase. As I said, in school life or college life, there are going to be a lot of positives and negatives. Okay, so what we are going to do here is there are going to be millions of problems parading at you when you enter a school. Okay, there can be a kid who is crying at the corner, or there can be a kid who is overeating and is becoming obese, and you want to give him advice. And there might be a kid who has gone missing for MIA for 1 week. You have to pay attention to a lot of kids. These are all the problems what you face as a teachers. Okay, so let's not get distracted by talking too many things, by taking too many plates, too many things on our plate. Okay, so let's focus on one point. Okay, for that what we are going to do is everybody, one of us, let's just to not to make it too much chaotic, let's just pick 3 participants for this journey. One will be Vaishnavi, one will be Kavita, and other one will be Vanilla. So you 3 people are going to be participants just for the demo purpose. Okay. um, all right, let's have 4 participants: Varshini, Vanilla, Kavita, and Vaishnavi. Okay. So what you people are going to do is tell about 1 positives and 1 negative about your about school life or any of your classroom. Okay. As the theme is redesign your classroom, we are going to think of a new way how your classroom is going to look like. So we can start off with telling about 1 positive about your traditional classroom, what you have experienced, and 1 negative, what you have experienced about your classroom. Okay, I hope I didn't twist and confuse you so much. Okay, anybody wants to start? Like I'll give you an example if you want. Maybe positive can be, negative can be, they used to write like talk like the classroom used to be very plain and it's lacking inspiration. That can be a negative point. Positive point can be the bench arrangement, how it is being done. So this can be a positive point. Similarly, each one of us can tell a positive and negative point. All right, so who wants to go first? Kavita, Vaishnavi, Vashini, Vanilla.
You're asking about my school experience or where I worked.
No, it's general. This is very general. Okay, you want to you know how a classroom looks like, right? So you have a classroom, benches arranged, the way the teachers is going to teach, the chalk piece is being there. Okay, and the board is there. So that is how the traditional classroom is. So how are we going to redefine our own classroom? That is the task now. Okay, to talk to dig deep into that, we are going to list the positives and negative points what we have witnessed in our classrooms.
Okay.
Clear now? Yeah, it's very general. It's not specific to your class or anything. It's general. You can tell what you feel about it. Yeah.
So yeah, Vaishnavi mentioned like positive is we have friends in our classroom. Vaishnavi.
Okay.
Ashwin, are you there?
Okay, Vaishnavi has texted this. Uh, positives is we have friends in our classroom.
Okay. Can
Jivaka?
somebody write it out? Okay, I'll do it.
Jivaka, you want me to have?
Yeah. Someone write it there. I think
Yeah.
Shruti can write it there. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Vaishnavi. Come on, guys. I hope we have a lot of stuff to think about.
Hi. Negative is we don't get
get to understand all the subjects in the classroom.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll understand if our friends or somebody is teaching, but we won't get it from our ma'am directly.
Okay.
Okay. My positive commenters readily grasp new concept and ideas.
Sorry. Can you repeat it again?
Readily grasp new concepts and ideas.
Okay.
My negative is wait a second.
Okay. I saw Vashni has commented a positive. Positive is we enjoyed learning together, and negative is lack of discipline. Thank you, Vashni. That's nice.
One person can come up with two negative as well. So it's up to you. Vashini? Vanilla, I think vanilla.
We daily have classes. This one negative.
Yeah, but I don't think we can avoid it. But yeah, that is actually a
Let's
good
just
point.
put it, add as a point, yeah.
Added pointer.
And my negative comment is putting pressure on the students.
Oh yeah,
It's a very nice point, actually. Much needed one.
Actually, we too do this, right? Because we should complete our portions and we put pressure on the students. We do this quick because next correspondence will come and check. We use
Okay. Yeah. Vanilla, you would like to add something? You can type in the chat box or you can tell. No problem.
வெனிலா நோ ப்ராப்ளம். அதாவது உங்களோட கிளாஸ் ரூம்ல நம்ம ஃபேஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்க பாசிட்டிவ் அண்ட் நெகட்டிவ் என்ன விஷயங்கள், என்ன மாதிரி ஆங்கிள் வேணா இருக்கலாம். இப்போ வந்து இவங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், இல்ல வந்து அங்க இருக்கிற இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் பிரச்சனையா இருக்கலாம், இல்ல சொல்லி கொடுக்கறது பிரச்சனையா இருக்கலாம், டீச்சர் பிரச்சனையா இருக்கலாம். அந்த மாதிரி உன்னோட ஆங்கிள் நீ இருக்கிறது சொல்லலாம். ஓகே
ஓகே ஓகே. நெகட்டிவ் வந்துட்டு சீட்டிங் அரேஞ்ச்மெண்ட்ஸ் வந்துட்டு மாத்தணும்.
என்னது?
Seating arrangement.
Seating arrangements.
Okay.
Actually, yeah, in one class there's so many kids.
Okay, that's a valid point.
Like 90 students like that.
Correct.
Alright, and yeah, if you educators can come up with any positives, that'd be fine, I think.
Okay. So I think we have filled 5 points already for negatives. 3 points are there, which is good. Okay, let's get to the next step actually. Meanwhile, it's okay that 2 points are left out. It's okay. Okay, next step is, so why we did this exercise. Let's come to that. So yeah, I spoke about distractions, right? When we try to solve a issue, these are all issues, all the pain points what we have mentioned, all the negative points what we have mentioned are all issues. So we have to solve the issues. To solve an issue, we have to know that okay, this is the exact issue that we are trying to solve, and we should not get distracted by anything else. So that is a key point of solving an issue. Okay, so that's why we have mentioned like all the possible issues that is popping up in our mind, and then now we are going to drill down to a particular key issue which is resulting in all these circumstances. Okay, so dig deep into the problem, we are going to step into shoes of the teachers. Okay, what we are going to do, that is what empathy mapping is. I there is a famous phrase that when someone comes sobbing to us telling that something has happened, bad has happened, then we easily tell, okay, that is going to be like that only. Then the other person is going to tell that no, you will know only when you experience it. The other person will defend themselves by telling that you will know when you only experience it. Okay, which means that the other person is lacking empathy. Only when we understand what other person are going through, then we can solve something for them. Until we don't understand what the other person is going through or how they are actually facing the scenario, we can't help them at all. That is universally applicable for all sorts of scenario, all sorts of bitter experience what we have experienced in our entire life. Needn't be only for the professional problems, or needn't be only for the problems what we have in our work life. It is applicable for all sorts of problems what we engage with. So that's why we lack empathy. To not to do that mistake again, we have ensured that we have a step in our design thinking process to make sure that we are stepping into the person's shoe and understanding, okay, this is what they would feel, this is what they would do, this is what they will think. Okay, to do that we have incorporated a step called empathy mapping. Now we are going to step into the shoes of actual teachers like Kavita, and what we are going to do is, these are all the problems. Now we are going to write down how are we going to act, how are we going to feel, how are we going to share, and how are we going to think about the particular issue. Okay, to do that, we have to pick out one problem statement. As we can see here, we have 5 different things, like the student is not going to understand at few times, there is a lack of discipline at times, and we have classes daily, and pressure on students, and problems with seating arrangements. These are 5 different problems which has 5 broad areas of scope. So what we are going to do is, we are going to pick out one major problem statement, like one focus area. Okay, so I would ask Vanilla, Varshini, Kavita and Vaishnavi to vote to one problem statement, like one issue out of the 5 negatives. Okay, which will help moving forward. So who is going to start? Like, you get to vote for one problem statement out of the 5 which is seen here. Okay, based on the majority, we'll start working on it. Okay, so Vaishnavi.
Pressure on students.
Okay, pressure on students. Okay, I'll just mark it. Okay, pressure on students. Kavita? Hello?
Lack of indisciplines at times.
Okay, lack of indiscipline. Okay, then Vanilla?
We don't understand few things.
Okay. Then Varshini?
Pressure on students.
Pressure on students. Okay. Okay, there was 2 votes for pressure on students. So let's focus on that because of the time constraint what we have. Okay. So there has been two votes for pressure on students. So we are going to talk about pressure on students inside classrooms. Okay. Uh, if you are not talking, maybe can you go on mute, please? I think there's a noise there. All right. Okay. So now we are going to drill deep into pressure on students. Okay. So you are going to be in shoes of teachers now. There is a issue like you feel that there is a sense of pressure being built up on the students. Then how are you going to think about the situation? I want you to open up. Like you go to a classroom, you see people like the students are being stressed out or being under pressure. Like what would you think? Like what would you think, or what would you do, or what would your action be? What would your initial step be?
A little talk with the student may help them.
You'll talk with the student.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Anybody else?
Okay. Can you repeat your question again?
Correct. Okay, sure. See, for example, like since we have chosen pressure on students as a problem now now we are drilling deep into it. To understand it more, what we are going to do is you're just going to imagine yourself as being a teacher in front of a classroom, and you can sense that your students are being under pressure. They're under immense pressure. You could see it obviously. So what are you going to do? How are you going to act? And what will you feel about it?
Okay. I'll say one live example. This I was faced in my school. For example, 10th standard and 12th standard, the government syllabus. As per the government syllabus, we have to prepare. But this till first standard to 9th standard, we frame the syllabus, right?
Correct.
Lesson plans we play. Due to this rainy days and all, continuously 10 to 15 days, we will not take the classes because of this rainy days. That time we have to rush up the portions, everything. So what I done is I personally went to the correspondent sir and I spoke that I can't we can't able to pressure the students because 15 days means we have to take more and we have to give notes everything. So let us um, postpone some lessons to the third term. It helps the students to read the same lessons in third term. For example, in second term, we have only 4 lessons. But we can't able to take the 2 lessons because of this rainy holidays, everything. We used to postpone the lesson to the third term. So that a student, without omitting the portions, they will learn that in third term. So we can change the lesson plan like that.
Okay. Cool. Okay. So, okay, that's a good point. Rashini and Vanilla, do you have any points? Like, what would you do? Hello?
Yeah, talking to students, understanding their problems.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that can be done.
Okay, talking to students. And I
Hello?
think talking to students. Yeah?
Jiva, your voice is a bit low.
Is it fine now?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. All right. Me. Okay. So, okay. Vanilla?
Yes. Yeah, talk with the students individually is a good thing to solve their problems and stress.
Okay. Super. Okay. So, as a teacher, you told how responsibly you will act immediately after seeing them in pressure. Now, I would like to know what you will feel. Will you feel what kind of emotions you will be undergoing? Like, will you feel guilty, or will you feel sad, or will you pity them, or will you feel angry about the situation, what they has happened? I want you to tell what you will feel about the situation. Any emotion it can be. Like, what feel you will undergo.
Jeeva, I'll take care of the marriage.
Yeah, thank you. It can be any sense of feel, but what feel? Will you feel guilty? ஐயோ இப்படி லாஸ்ட் மினிட்ல எப்படி ஆயிடுச்சு, இப்படி குழந்தைங்க படிக்கிறாங்க, நம்ம தான் நடத்தலையோ அப்படிங்கிற மாதிரி you will feel guilty, or இல்லைன்னா if you want, like will you feel angry about the management, like they gave so many syllabus, இந்த மாதிரி ஓவர் சிலபஸ் கொடுத்து ஓவர் பண்ணிட்டாங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு will you feel angry about them, or what sort of feeling you will have?
Really, I'll be angry.
Okay, very good. Raudira Padaga. Okay, then.
Because nothing in our hands, right?
Correct.
Management does everything. According to that, we play a role.
Correct.
இதுக்கு
Vaishnavi.
இப்படி ஃபீல் பண்றாங்களே, இன்னும் எவ்வளவோ இருக்கு.
Correct. I don't know what to name that feeling. Okay, you feel pity about them. Actually, you pity them.
Yes.
Okay. I feel angry. You feel pity about them. Vashini, Vanilla. Okay. So this how much? If you want, you can share your views in the chat box so that they will easily populate it over there. I can't see the chat box right now. Okay. Then yeah. So this is what you will act and you will feel when a similar situation is happening. Okay. So you will think, actually, how will you act? You will think about the situation. Then you will think, what is the immediate solution I can do? Then you will perform it. Then meanwhile, in the journey, you will experience some feeling, right? That is what we have written in feeling. Okay. So think is the starting point. I have skipped it. Then we have written about what we do and what we feel. Then how we share about it to others. How we share what we have done to others is the next step. So act and feel is a key major point, like to understand how they are responding, and what is going on in them internally. Okay. So since we have stepped on the shoes of teachers and we have understood what they will do in case of a similar situation and how they will feel in case of a similar situation, I think we can get into the core strength of the problem. Okay. So you have written like there is a lot of pressure on the students. Okay. So now we are going to drill deep into this particular issue. So why do you think that there are a lot of pressure placed on the students? We can start telling, like, why do you think that there are a lot of pressure placed on the student?
Because there is a belief that only marks can get us a good job or good college.
Super, very good. Yeah, agreed, 100%. Next.
Good college and job. Hello?
Job.
Okay.
Actually, myself thought to say that point only.
Okay, make it double, like 2 times or something. The stress point of the voting is speaker. why do you think students develop pressure at that age? It can be anything. It needn't be in the exam point of view. It can be from parental perspective or friends perspective, societal perspective, the adolescence age, anything. It can be from any perspective.
If not, what will the people think of us? If we didn't get marks, what will others will think?
Good point. Good point.
Can I just repeat the point?
What will others think of us if we didn't score a good mark?
More than that, we are living for the society.
Huh?
Sorry?
Society view.
Okay.
Societal view. Okay, great. Is it because societal view of being judged? Is it being judged that I'm
Yes.
a low? Yeah. Make a note of it also. Like societal view of being judged or something. Okay. Okay. What are all other possible ways, like why they are being under pressure or something?
Peer pressure.
Peer pressure. Make a note of it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So we have come across like four different versions, five different versions of like why actually pressure is placed on the students. Okay. So most of it is being said like comparison between the students. People said that only marks can get job. Okay, that is also again it's like they are being made like it's a race, and societal view of being judged. What will
Uh,
others think of this?
okay,
Let's
we have
combine this.
another in chat box.
What is
Vashni
it,
has
Shruti?
given three comparison
Okay, yeah.
between students, peer
Mhm.
pressure, and unhealthy competition.
Unhealthy
And
competition.
Yeah.
good point, very good point actually. Yeah. Okay, super. See, we have taken only one. We initially spoke about five issues which we will commonly face in school. Then we drill down to one problem statement, like what is pressure, why like pressure on the students, and under pressure on the students we have like six different, like I think five. Okay, six. Okay, six different versions of the particular problem. So each problem, what is mentioned here, will take us to a separate lane. Okay. So now, again, we have to narrow down to a particular problem to attack and get a solution. That is the main motto of design thinking. Okay, not to get distracted. To make it very narrower way, what we are going to do is we are going to pick up one issue out of this, like one version out of the six what we have mentioned here. Then we are going to build a solution for that particular version. Okay, so I want you people to vote and choose one particular statement, like it can be like societal view of being judged, or it can be unhealthy competition, or it can be I think societal view of being judged, and this can be combined. Both are like more or less similar meaning only, so
Yeah.
this can be combined. Like okay, you can choose between these five options. Based on the selection, we'll proceed to the next step. We'll focus on that particular version alone. Okay, so let's just talk and choose about it. Let's just vote. Okay, so who wants to go first? Vanilla, Vaishnavi, anybody?
People say that only marks at that point.
Okay, super. Okay, then Kavita.
Unhealthy competition.
Okay, unhealthy competition. Okay, next.
People say that only marks can get good college and job. That point.
Okay, one more vote. Whose vote is pending?
Unhealthy competition.
Okay, okay, you guys went to equal thing. Okay, cool. Okay, people say that only marks can get a good. Okay, let's just take these two because you both voted into these two. Okay. Okay. We have two versions here. There is being unhealthy competition. People say that only marks can get good college and job. Okay. So for time being, for example, I'm just choosing one out of these two. I'm sorry. I thought you will narrow it down to one point, but I don't want to just get distracted and get into a broader perspective. So I'm just, for time being, I'm just choosing people say that marks only can get good college and job. Okay. Uh, okay. So similar procedure can be applied to that particular problem statement as well. But for time being, I'm just choosing people say that only marks can get good college and job. Okay. So I'm just reframing this into a problem statement. Okay. So the problem statement would be this is editable. You can revisit and you can change your problem statement when you discover something along the process. Okay. So the problem statement would be, how might we help students feel that marks are not only or not the only option to get good marks and good college. So this will be our problem statement. Okay. I hope this is very to the point, understandable, and it talks about the problem, like the issue what we are talking about. Okay. So here, if we start with this problem statement, from this on, it will be very specific about how we make students feel that the marks are not the only option. Okay. So here I'm going to place the problem what we have written. Okay. Um, okay. Now we are just going to go on root cause analysis method. Okay, I'll just give an intro about what is root cause analysis method quickly. Be it any problem in our life, be it anything, if we just start questioning about it like 5 times why. Like if I'm being stressed in office, I'm just very stressed with my office work during this pandemic because I couldn't multitask. I will question myself, why am I being stressed? I'll just answer myself that I'm not finding time. Why am I? And then I'll add one more why to that. Why am I not finding time? Because I'm suffering from insomnia. I'm not sleeping well. I'm waking up late, so I'm having less time. So then I'll question myself, why am I having insomnia? Why am I not sleeping properly? Then I'll tell myself, because I'm binge watching in Prime and Netflix. Then I'll tell myself, like, why am I binge watching myself? Then I'll find myself like I'm useless, I have to stick to the boredom routine. Okay, then I'll just understand it's my mistake. That is the whole root cause analysis. In a funny way I have put it out. So we are going to do the same thing for this, to understand what the real virus or bacteria which is causing this big issue into the students' mind. Okay, so I want you people to just tell me, add a why to this, and you just tell me why people say that marks can only get like good, like only with the marks people can get into the good college and get good job. So why do they feel like that?
Because educational system is like that only, no. If you pass, you go to next class. If you fail, you will be in the same class.
Okay, education system Okay, you can write. Machine, right? Can you write it down? Okay. Any other answer to that? Why people say that marks can only get good job, or like good college and good job?
Same education system is that.
Okay, education system is like that. Okay. Now getting further deeper, why actually the education system is failing so that the marks are only the like measuring scale, and why they have kept, like, why do you feel that the education system has kept it like that?
It was designed previously,
All right. Okay. Why do you think that the government has opted for a outdated and very old like education system even now? Why do you think that they have opted, like, either why they haven't changed the pattern ever since? As you said, it's for like for 20, 30 years. Why do you think that they haven't changed it?
they were not ready.
Okay, good point. Not ready in the sense they don't want the job of framing a new syllabus, or what do you mean?
They don't want to spend time or money on that. They are okay with this. It is okay.
Okay. All right. Okay. Good.
Actually, they are framing new syllabus.
Mm-hmm.
They are the lesson plan, and they are taking that new ideas. But the only thing is not changed is mark.
Okay. Okay. They changed the methods or curriculum, but they are sticking to the like marks.
But the concept is not changed.
Okay. Okay. Good. Okay. Okay, another. Why do you think that they are stressing so much on the marks again? Why, as you said, they are just sugarcoating the methodology like curriculum, and they are splitting it. And anyways, they are coming up with new education policies. That is a big story, but still, they are again focusing on the marks. Why? Aren't there any other scale to measure the students' progress, or is it the only way available? Anything like that? Okay, okay, I think if there is anything you can mention now, else we can progress to the next step actually. Okay, I think we are good to go. Okay, so as you said, the root cause is they are ready to change the methods. I'll pick that statement as a root cause because everything is directing there. Because they are changing the curriculum, they are trying to reframe the syllabus, but still they are sticking to the marks. They, whatever they do, they are not actually, they're changing in the outside view. They are not getting into the core. Okay, that is what you people feel. Okay, so I'll just pick this statement out. Like, okay, I'll just pick this statement out and I have kept it here. Okay, they changed the methods or curriculum, but the concept of marks is not changed. Okay, so now what we are going to do is, we are going to take the tool, a very efficient tool of story. Okay, no, like there is no one in the world who doesn't like story. Okay, story is the biggest tool, like what the humans or nannymas or grandmas has invented. Okay, whatever you want to convey to anybody who's even lame or who's insane, you can tell it using a story. It can be visual, or it can be through actions, or it can be anything. Okay, that is when movies started evolving, dramas and every art form started evolving only because of stories. I love stories. So here also we are going to do something using a story. Okay, what we are going to do is, since we understood the problem here, like we have come up with one root cause, that they are not ready to change the core of it. They are only going to change the methods of the curriculum. What we are going to do is we are going to frame a story. It's basically what Hollywood cinemas would do. Say, for example, there are n number of sports films on the TV. Like today also there was a movie, Jiva. There was one more movie with the same message. Something where the sports person, actually the message is low class people are not getting into sports membership because the people are demanding for many money. Like Bigil is also an example. The message is same, but the way they are telling and how the like protagonist is being affected is actually stressing, like it is actually conveying the message that this is what is happening in the sports industry, this is how it is. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. This is the problem here. Okay, like students are being forced out of marks. Like we have to frame, we are just going to be directors and script writers as of now, and we have to write a storyline, a journey map. We ourselves can pick out our hero and we can tell that he's studying in so and so class, he has done this exam or something, he has felt this, he has got this marks, he felt bad, then he has done this, then he is in a very bad shape. We'll do this just to understand we are in the right lane, and like we can see what is the impact of the particular uh, like problem caused what we have picked up. I hope I didn't confuse you people. If not, I'll just explain it again. Okay, is it clear or shall I explain it again?
Once again.
Okay, so basically what we are going to do is we are going to build a story with a particular problem cause statement what you have picked up. Then we are going to like convey the message out of it. It's like we have abruptly put that they change the methods or like curriculum, but their concept of marks is not a change. Okay, so now for example I'll write a story for you people to like make it easier. Okay, so what I'm going to write is Prasanna studies in say like for okay, maybe 10th standard. Okay, okay, Prasanna is okay. Let's to make it a bigger understanding, let's dive back to like go back to 2012. Okay, that is when there was a dilemma between Samachir Kalvi and this was there, what is it, normal state board syllabus was there. Okay, for example, like I'll just give a brief about that scenario. Okay, so since we are talking about the changing of curriculum, but the concept of marks is like still they have not changed it. I have just gone back to that era. It's like 2012. This was a scenario. Like 10th standard kids were in a dilemma until June or July, I think. Like usually in that time we used to study 10th standard from 9th standard itself. So what we did, we had studied all the state board syllabus from 9th standard to 10th standard, the matriculation syllabus from 9th standard to 10th standard. Then there was a court issue going on that whether to implement Samachir or not. That was a big dilemma. So at a point of time, we started studying both. 1 month we used to get tests in matriculation syllabus. 1 month we used to get in Samachir syllabus. So once the results were announced, then we were finally picking out into Samachir Kalvi. But still we were stronger enough compared to the government school kids. But again, it was same issue. It didn't bring bigger difference among the people. Okay, so I'm just framing that situation as a story now to understand, like to help you understand, like this is how we frame a user journey. Okay, so Prasanna studies in 10th standard. Prasanna is worried about his board exams as he's unsure about the syllabus. Okay, then it might be Prasanna
Jiva.
Just a minute. Sorry, I was having network issue. Just a minute. Okay. Okay. So yeah. So Prasanna is worried about the exams as he is not unsure about the syllabus. Prasanna was hoping that that the new syllabus would give him better understanding, would give him better exposure for his career. All right. Okay. So, but unfortunately, the syllabus which was reframed, pardon my spelling mistakes, okay, reframed, had similar ranking systems and had huge competition compared to the old one. You can even relate this to the current NEP policy also. Okay. Then, okay. So now he's under immense pressure that he has to understand the curriculum, get enough resources, and compete with others. Okay. So finally, he's tense and he couldn't do well in his exams because of the pressure. So this was a story. Actually, this is a statement, but I have just put it in a story. As you know, this will be the moral of the story, but this is the actual story. So we have framed it in a reverse way. Usually we read a story, then we figure out the moral of the story. Here what we have done is, we have just written up cause of, like, moral of the story or whatever it is. Then we have framed a story to understand like how the particular or the user is undergoing the pain. Okay, so here I'll just give an overview again. Okay, Prasanna, he is like a 10th standard kid. Okay, he's worried about his board exams as he is not unsure about which syllabus, what curriculum is going to be implemented, like what is the options after that and all. So again, on as there were news, like there will be new syllabuses or curriculum will be given to him, he had a hope that okay, that would be better than what we have right now. But unfortunately, the syllabus what they have rolled out is also full of marks and exams and everything. Since they haven't touched the core yet, so he felt that the competition is going to be higher than the older curriculum what we have right now. So he's under immense pressure that he has to pull out all the resources possible, like all the possible resources which is in access to him, and he wants to be prepared. But he got really tensed at the end, which resulted in his poor performance in his examination. This is a story which I have framed out of this thing, to give an example, like to understand like what the user might be undergoing to understand the impact of it, because this might be just a cliche option to everyone, to put ourselves under the shoes of the student and understand how it is going to work. It's a better tool to put it in the ways of a story. Okay, so this is how we understood the problem. Now we are getting into the solution part. Okay, so that's why we took a long part in understanding the problem. If you get 1 hour, no, spend 50 minutes to understand the problem only, then you will easily figure out the solution, like how to solve the problem. If you get to know what you want to solve, then it's very easy how to solve it. Okay, so that is a key mantra of it. Now in ideation session, what we are going to do is, we are going to brainstorm and figure out ideas to solve this issue. Like now you feel yourself like superwoman or someone, like you feel yourself as education minister of Tamil Nadu or Karnataka or Andhra, whatever it might be, or even central minister. And if you have the power, what will you do to change this thing? That is what I want you people to like unmute yourselves and tell it right now. You can show all your crazy ideas. It can be anything. You can even tell that I'm going to put robots in every school and teach to the kids. I'm going to rule out exams and I'm just going to go for Gurukulam system again. It can be anything. You can tell out ideas like solutions which can possibly change this problem.
Method of Ikigai, Japanese method.
Okay, Subal.
Jivaka,
Yeah.
Kavita won't be continuing with us today. Her mobile data is over, it seems. So she will join us tomorrow.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Oh, she just left. Okay. Is it okay? Cool. I'll see her tomorrow. Yeah. Let's move on quickly. Okay. Vanilla Vashini, like you have something to add? Like any solutions you are getting out of mind? Hello.
Hello.
Yeah. Is anyone giving any answers, like any solutions or something?
Vaishnavi, Vashini, Vanilla.
Reducing the syllabus or
Okay.
hello.
Okay, reducing the syllabus. Okay, make a note of it. Could you please make a note of it, Ashwin? Okay, what is it? Reducing the syllabus, is it? Okay, reducing the...
Yeah, reducing the syllabus or reduce the critical things that students have.
Reducing the critical experiences the students have. Okay. Okay, so this is how you generate ideas in brainstorming. Yeah, sorry, come again. Students are facing, is it?
Yeah, clear, nothing. Yes.
Okay, cool. Super. Okay. So this is just a model where you just generate ideas, like all possible ideas, how to solve the particular issue. Then coming to checklist. Okay. I'll tell you what is checklist about. Since we start generating to whom we are addressing the problem and how are their background is going to be. If we talk about students in general, there are wide spectrum of students. Like for example, there will be special children, okay, who's also undergoing MARC curriculum. Okay, there will be special children. There will be people from rural areas, extremely rural areas. Okay. Then there will be people who belongs to orphanage, who are from orphanage backgrounds. So there will be a lot of different perspectives to it. We should not forget about those people as well, like all the circumstances, what they feel as well. So we are going to list out all possible categories what the user are going to be, to just to make sure that we are not leaving them behind. Okay, this is what checklist is about. Then coming to the final solution step. Okay, final solution step is basically based on the feasibility, based on the budget what we have, we pick out one of the ideas what we have brainstormed. As of now we got only 3 ideas, but due to time constraint, I'm just telling you how the process is going to go, because until the problems area it is critical. After that it's very open, like anybody can understand. It's very easy to understand. That's why I'm going little quick. Okay, so here since we have got 3 ideas, I'm just picking out one idea out of it. I'll just pick out this one. The method of Ikigai can be couldn't copy it. Wait. Ashwin. Okay, wait, I'll just write it here. Okay, I'll
Hello,
just
yeah,
pick out
yeah,
this.
Jiva, tell me.
No, okay, nothing at all. Okay.
What happened?
Nothing. Yeah, okay. So Vaishnavi told that the method of Ikigai can be implemented. Okay. So that was
Okay.
her solution. Okay. What I'm
So
going to
was
do
the
is,
solution being taken compared by both the checklist and for the brainstorming ideas? Like it should be correlated. So the solution, the outcome should be like the picture of these both. It's not like the method. Okay, so இப்போ நம்ம ikigai method எடுக்கிறோம் அப்படின்னா the checklist, the people whom you are going to address is like orphanage
correct.
people,
That is what
special children, rural areas, correct? So that method should work out there. So அந்த மாதிரி பார்த்து just implement the idea correctly.
correct. Yeah, exactly. So that's why we make a checklist here to make sure that we are addressing those people as well. Okay. So for example, I'm just picking out that idea, like the method of Ikigai as a final solution. So let's say that it's implementable for all sorts of categories what you have written and what you have missed out so far. Okay. So if that is the solution, what we are going to do is we are going to prototype. Okay. We are going to experiment, like if this is going to work. Nobody knows if that thing is going to work until we put it in the hands of the students, until we implement it. Okay. So for that, what we are going to do, we are just going to go to the drawing board. You can sketch whatever you want about the method of Ikigai, like how to implement it, how to take it to the government, and how to take it to the students. Everything you can sketch it out. You can come with a prototype. It can be a mobile application, or it can be a new curriculum, or it can be anything. It can be a sort of anything. You can just prototype it, and it can it can be a hardcore prototype, or it can be a mobile version of it, or it can be you can frame your solution into a particular implementable way that it's ready to use. Okay. Maybe for a single kid who's going to a school, it can be a ready to use tool, and once it is ready, that is what we do in prototype. Actually, I don't think we have enough time to do that. So basically, you pick out your final solution. You try to do a like implementable version of it, which is like practical version of it. Then you put it in hands of the students to see if this is actually working. For example, I'll just tell you an example how this might work. Okay, this is my assumption, but this is not how we should do. But I'll just tell you an assumption. So you are telling that you want to implement the method of Ikigai. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to my drawing board. I'm just writing down all the methods, like how the kids are going to be analyzed, how they are going to be doing their curriculum and everything. I'm just going to devise. I'm going to a school. I'm adopting a particular classroom of 5th standard. Okay. I'm going to make them skip all their quarterly and half-yearly exams. I'm going to implement this method of Ikigai to them, like for quarterly and half-yearly exams. Instead of exams, I'm going to follow the curriculum of Ikigai. Okay, to see how it is working, and are students really coping up with it, or there are any drawbacks, how the parents are feeling about it, how the teachers are actually feeling about it, how the management is feeling about it. Is it really scalable? I'll just make, while in the practical environment, I'll just make a note of it, everything. Okay, so once that is done, then I'll have the feedback of what I have done. Then now again I can go back to my drawing board. I can think of possible solutions to add on to my idea what we had initially in our mind. Then we try to evolve the product. Okay, evolve the service what we have designed so far. That is evolution phase. Okay, so after that it is complete iteration. You go put it on the field, you experience, you collect feedback, go back to your sketching board, then again you ideate, again you go again you implement the solution, get your feedback, go back to drawing board. This is going to be a loop again and again, because there is no perfect way of doing anything in the world. So anything and everything has to be experimented, collect feedbacks, go back, sort it out, again go experiment it, collect feedbacks, go sort it out. That is how it is going to be. Even while you are going to teach a kid or something, if you want to implement something, you can follow these steps. Okay, so we haven't actually as in total, this is what practical design thinking should work. So due to time constraint, it is very tough to package it inside 1 hour, 1.5 hour, or something. So we have tried our maximum to just give you a practical example of how this might work. Okay, what is a takeaway from this is just a tool. Okay, it's not rocket science. You can just have it in your notebook. It can even help you to solve your relationship issues. Actually, okay, the problem statement can be, why is like my boyfriend left me.
Hello.
Or it can be like, why is every girl dumping me? It can be anything. It can be crazy as anything. It needn't be only teachers only. It is like, maybe why Zumba classes. It can be anything. Okay.
Hello, Jiva.
Was it hello? When was it lost?
I think around a minute back.
What was I telling the last time?
If my network is right, you are saying that this method can be used to solve or
Anything.
reduce problems. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. So the key takeaway is that you take this tool with you today. You can implement it to anything. You can tell it to your friends also. You can just discuss about it. You can just put a story about it. It's anything. Like, it's not a rocket science. It's not a theory, or it's not something which is very big. Okay. So this is a takeaway from the session. So what we have planned for tomorrow and day after is something serious. Okay. This is just a trailer, like how things will be done make you understand how it is being done. So for tomorrow and day after tomorrow, this is a tool for us, but well, as we expect. So we are going to frame a tool, like frame a tool for the kids to solve their own problems, and frame a tool to the teachers to help them teach better to their kids. Okay, so this is what is awaiting for you guys tomorrow. By end of tomorrow and day after tomorrow, you'll actually be having a proper solution which can be delivered to the student as well as a teacher, which will help them in better teaching and better understanding, so which will make their lives a little bit better. Okay, so that's it for today, I think. Yeah, Ramya, would you like to add something? Or
Yeah, Jiva. I think Ashwin, are you there?
Yes, Ramya, I'm here.
Yeah, so can you just give a
Overview of the session, huh?
yeah, overview of the session, and we shall give a just about tomorrow also.
Yes, okay. Like, is the process done?
yeah, it's done.
Okay, so they'll just share us with the diagram, a prototype.
Ivan, they will share us a prototype.
No, if they're interested, they can share a prototype of it. They can take it back to their home. They can do homework. They can share it with us if they're interested. Else, they can come again tomorrow. They can work hands-on, no problem.
Okay, fine. So, like, yeah, as Jiva said, so if you are like, you can also share us in the WhatsApp group, like a visual representation of how we were discussing, and even you can just like sketch it, or you can just bring up an idea and we can just share it in tomorrow's session. So today, to summing up the session, I'll just say overview of what we did. So, like, we were just given an intro of the previous session of what design thinking for educators was, and what are the process involved in the educators. So today we just went on with a Miro board, and we just created a scenario of like redesigning the classroom, and in that we just started discussing with what are the students' problem by pointing out the positives and negatives, and we just went on through the empathy mapping session. So think, act, and feel, share, and then we just finalized a problem. We just finalized the problem statement. So the problem statement here, which we finalized, is which it was like, people say Marx is a good, like that was been a typical stereotype. like if you get good mark, you will have a good college or good appearance in the society. So that was the problem statement we decided. And then we just went on with a journey map about Prashant being pressurized because of a syllabus changed, and because of that he couldn't perform well in the exam. And then we just went on with the ideation session. So this ideation process had 3 sections. First one is brainstorming, second one is checklist, and the third one is final solution. So in the brainstorming session, we just finalized certain, we just brainstormed certain ideas. Because of time constraint, we just limited with our ideas, and we just went on with the checklist of whom we are addressing the problem. Comparing this both step, we just finalized the solution. So we just finalized the solution of the method of Ikigai, that is a Japanese method said by Vaishnavi, I guess. Am I correct, Jiva?
Yeah.
So Vaishnavi, so this is what today's session is about. So, and the further 2 steps is like experimentation and evolution. It's completely on like all the educators, like you can just give in visual prototype, and then you can just share the idea among your colleagues or your friends, and you can just ask your feedbacks if possible today, or else you can just develop it and you can just share it tomorrow, and you can also share the feedback in the end of the 5-day session, so that will be like helpful for you also. And with this, we are ending today's session. And tomorrow, what we are going to see is about, we are going to have, so tomorrow we are going to frame all the problems, like how we discussed today in this Miro board, like the stages of problem. Tomorrow we are going to discuss, and we are going to finalize the processes, like how we processed like brainstorming session, checklist, final solution, positives and negatives. So we had many sections. And tomorrow what we are going to do is, us mentors and us educators, we are going to sit, discuss, and we are going to finalize certain processes apart from that, like how you want to address the students in your own way. So we all are going to think, and we are going to finalize. So this is just the gist of the tomorrow session. And further will be like, we'll face the further a brief explanation in tomorrow's session. So thank you so much for joining, everyone, and thank you for the patience. And I hope Jiva was very clear today. And thank you so much, Jiva, for taking the session very nicely. So I hope everything went well. So you can just share your feedback, and we can just end the session.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. All the educators can share your feedback about today's session.
One second.
Today the class was very good. Thanks, Jiva.
First எல்லாம் சொல்லக்கூடாது.
Okay, Varshini has texted. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Right. Thank you.
Right. Educators, if you have any doubts, feel free to contact us through the WhatsApp group. Yeah.
Yes, feel free to contact us at any time, like in WhatsApp group, or even like before the session starts. We have lots of time in the daytime. You can also contact us, and every day's recording will be shared. Like for the past 2 days, recording will be shared by tonight or like tomorrow morning, and today's session will also be shared. If you have any doubts, you can just play the session and you can just clear the doubts. So if you have any doubts, please note down, and if you're feeling free to ask in WhatsApp, you can ask, or else you can just ask while you're joining the session, because we'll have an overview of like previous day sessions. So in that time, we can just have a quick discussion, and then we can just progress with the actual day progress. So I guess I made a clear statement. So thank you so much.